Good morning, guys. It's Stephen here on Thursday, the 29th of May. Sorry, I look a little bit dishevelled today. I've not had my shower or anything like that. I wasn't planning to do a video this morning until I saw this breaking news on my phone. I've just thrown on a City shirt, got out of bed. I say got out of bed. I've been out of bed for a while. But just got myself vaguely presentable because I had to go live for this. Genuinely exciting bit of information. Your man Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Manchester City have opened talks to sign Rayan Cherki, the wonderkid over in France at Lyon. An exceptionally gifted, exceptionally talented, mercurial footballer. The kind that you do not see very often emerge in football. He's a special talent and one that I would love to see at Manchester City. Only 21 years old. He'll be 22 at the start of next season. His birthday's in August. And it looks like this has some legs to it. Like, this guy is ridiculously talented. If we got this through, this would be a real hype signing for me. The kind of signing that you can enjoy as a football fan, because ultimately he's that level good where he's like, special. He does magic things on the pitch. Like, not many footballers fall into that same category, in my opinion. Like, they don't, he's a different level of exciting in terms of what he can do with the ball at his feet. There are so many creative players, but every now and then you see one that is a bit of a genius. And I don't know if he'll go as far as the other geniuses, because there's lots of very insanely talented footballers, but there's no guarantee they'll ever reach the top for a myriad of factors. But you can see that they have the talent. Rayan Cherki is an absurd talent. Some people have compared his season that he's had at Lyon to very similar to the season De Bruyne had at Wolfsburg before Manchester City signed him. A proper breakout season. I'll go to the news anyway first before I eulogise him. Not eulogise, is that the right word? Eulogise. Is eulogise the right word? I don't think it is. Isn't that when someone... No, it is. Praise highly, yeah. I just wanted to make sure, because do you do like a eulogy at a funeral or something? I don't know, have we? Guardiola has confirmed, not Guardiola, Romano has confirmed this as following. It says here that City have now made contact to start initial talks over a deal for Lyon's Rayan Cherki. The 21-year-old is top of the list for number 10 position with Morgan Gibbs-white, while the Frenchman is also aware of City's interests. I still think we'll go for Gibbs-white, because I think he's more of an 8, by the way. I think we'd go for Gibbs-white, Rangers, and Rayan Cherki, because I think there's the room for all of them. I truly believe that. Fabrizio Romano is a guy, you can say what you want about Fabrizio Romano, but he knows what he's doing. He has the links to all the big agents. Let me sort of find out who Cherki's agent is. Cherki agent. Who's the agent for Rayan Cherki? Musa Sissoko. Okay. I don't know who they are. That's interesting. Okay, so it's not one of the big name ones. That's interesting. Dewey and Colin Moani are there as well. Okay, I wondered it was going to be one of the big major ones or something like that, but no. But either way, this is, do you know when you see, for example, Cole Palmer, Mike Brown just mentioned Cole Palmer in the chat, where Cole Palmer is an incredibly talented footballer who has exceptional vision, game-breaking skill and all that kind of stuff. And this is that sort of level. You're about Musa Dembele, I think, aren't you, Mohammed, in the chat? Not that's Sissoko. I think you're on about someone else. Maybe not. But he's that level of talent where he can just do magic things at the ball with the ball at his feet. Do you want to see this graph, which made me laugh? Because I've seen the videos where he's absurdly talented. We all know how good he is. But watch this. Watch how talented he is in terms of his creation. Look at this. This shows you how special he is. This graph here is absolutely absurd. So check where he is on the graph. There we go. I'm not sure if you can see that. It says delivering build-up. On this axis here, so the top is how much they deliver in the build-up, and how much at the bottom, that way, on the other axis is how much they deliver in terms of chances. See where it says aliens? Guess who's in that category? Kevin De Bruyne, Lionel Messi, and in the top right-hand corner, as perfect as you can be, is Rayan Cherki. He's even more further ahead in the top right-hand corner than both. He is the highest in terms of delivering in the build-up. I think Doku's at the very top there in the centre. And in delivering and creating chances. He's an absolute chance creation machine. A ridiculous chance creation machine. Involved in all aspects of play. All over the pitch. Creating chances with both feet. Scoring goals. Beating people. Delivering everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. He's absurdly talented. I wish I could zoom in a bit better on that for you. But does it make it any bigger if I do this now? Let me see if it stretches. Does it go bigger? Does it change the size of it? It doesn't, no. It doesn't. But either way, yeah, ridiculous. A special footballer with magic in his feet. And I'm hoping this is true, because I think we need, a signing that could get us off our feet a little bit, give us something a little bit different, because we've obviously seen all the talent that City have got. But someone who can help break us down... assistant manager was Neil Warnock. You're not being serious there, are you, mate? Neil Warnock is not going to be Manchester City's assistant manager. Someone's taking the piss there, almost certainly. But yeah, every single time we come up against low blocks, you need someone who's got a little bit of magic. And Cherki, look, the downside of him is that there are rumours that, he doesn't work quite as hard or something like that. But he's only 21 years old. He's a talented footballer. He's having his breakout moment. And I can feel when we've got games against like Southampton, they've got everyone behind the ball, and you've got everyone just defending and defending and defending. I can imagine someone like Cherki would be an absolute genius. Like, I'll try and explain what makes him so special. So what Cherki does, when you play the ball into Cherki, he's gonna do something positive. Like, he can keep the ball, sure, but the thing is, no one's watched him play, Camden. Look, we've all seen vast amount of footage of Rayan Cherki, mate. Like, he's got, I think he's got like 20 goals and assists in 30 games in the French league this season. He's been absolutely, look, I don't say watch 90 minutes of him. No, absolutely not. But I've seen loads of footage. I've watched him against teams before, but I've seen loads of footage of his creating. It's absolutely exceptional. And I know he doesn't have the best work rate, and there were apparently some questions about his attitude. But bear in mind, he's 21 years old. So he's obviously very young still. And I would never. And apparently he's just sort of kind of, clashed against the board a little bit when he was younger, when he was like 19. Who cares, man? It's one of those things where that's not the biggest thing in the world. And I would argue, given it's only going to be about £25 million, it's absolutely worth the risk. Of course it's worth the risk, because, what's the worst that happens? You pay 25 million quid for him, 20 million quid. It's like 20 in the 20s, because he's got a release clause. And if it doesn't work, you've lost 20 million quid, and you just put him on the bench, and then you sell him the next summer. Who cares, man? It's not like this. The upside of this is ridiculous, because if it does work, you've got an absolute genius. But anyway, so when you play the ball into Rayan Cherki's feet, he won't just pass it back and keep it. He'll do a little flick, or he'll pivot really quickly and drive past people. His dribbling is ridiculous. He's got great skill, great skill, a good turn of pace. He dribbles a little bit like Hazard in terms of when he gets the ball. That same darting, shifting of pace and direction. And even though he's not like the most athletic looking guy in the world, he can run, this guy. He can change his direction very, very quickly. He's wonderfully two-footed with absolute zero backlift. He'll play the little scoop pass. He'll play a Rabona pass around the corner. He'll dink it over people's heads. He'll whip across it beautifully. He'll just perfectly slide rule it into your path. He can do the whole variety of passes, because football essentially just sort of comes easy for him. He's that level of talent where football, honestly, it's just easy. Have you all seen that clip of him where he's doing the let me try and find it now. I know it's only training stuff, but you want to see how naturally talented he is in terms of just striking a ball. It's ridiculous how easy football looks for Rayan Cherki. I'm going to try and find the clip, because I was watching it the other day. And I know he's only training and he's finishing, but it is ridiculous, his technique. Look at his technique when he's training here. So you watch this here. The touch and the finishing is ridiculous. This is all from the same. Loads of these are from the same training sessions, where look at the little flicks there and stuff like that, and then the lob over the keeper. He's so gifted, so gifted. These are all from the same training session. A ridiculous finishing, top corner. Then again, another one, and then bang, far corner. And these are only training, but they show you how easy football comes for him. He's mercurial is the word I would use. Top corner, bang, and look at this one outside of his boot now. Back heel flick. Look, this is the kind of talent he is, where football, just ridiculously exciting. And the thing is, where does he play? He plays as number 10. He plays on the left. He can play on the right. Weak-footed. I don't think he really is weak-footed. Does he work that hard? I don't really know. There are question marks about that. But if you can get him to work, it could be an all-time genius level signing. That's the thing. That's why it's absolutely worth the risk. And here, do you want to see a comparison here? There we go. So this is a comparison of Lamal. Lamine Yamal and Florian Wirtz and Cherki. So there we go. So this is the level. That's the level that he's up there with, as you see the talent there. I mean, look at that. He's up there. Bear in mind, they're all roughly the same. Well, Lamine's obviously a lot younger at 17, but he's the same age as Florian Wirtz. It's ridiculous. They're all just exceptional footballers. You're getting an absolute magician who'll get the free rein to get the ball. The thing is, if he played for Man City, I think he often would play in the games where, unless he works really hard, then he'd play all the time. He's majestic. Majestic. I can't, what are the words I could use? I don't know. Just magic. Absolute magic. He's like King Clancy, but in the modern era. He's a bit Eden Hazard with a little bit of it's like, everyone talks about the streets forget footballers, but them, if they were actually really, really good, not just like Adel Tarabat, or someone like that. He's like Nasri done now with more flicks and tricks, with a little bit of the passing of Messi and De Bruyne. I know that sounds like a hyperbole, but there is a level of that brilliance to him. As you can see there, statistically, he's absolutely fantastic. He's up there with Yamal and Wirtz in terms of stats. A stupidly gifted footballer. And look, he's not going to be 130 million. And for one, he'd probably want to come. Like him and Rangers City, and I think we get Gibbs-white too, by the way. I think Gibbs-white and Rayan Cherki are so different that I don't see their paths colliding. I think they are very different footballers. Gibbs-white to me is the Bernardo Silva replacement, where you've got this guy who he can play in multiple roles, who works incredibly aggressively. He's a really clean ball striker. You can shuttle up and down. He's positionally intelligent. He's your sort of right-hand man as a manager. Like Gibbs-white, I think we'd very, very, very quickly... hello, Gibbs-white in the chat. Here we go. I don't think it's actually him, obviously. It wouldn't be. That'd be funny if it was. But Gibbs-white would be like, how Guardiola loves... Guardiola loves Bernardo Silva because he's so reliable. He's so brilliant. I think that's why Gibbs-white would be there. I think Guardiola, you tell him to do something and he'd be like, right, okay, I can do that. Already I can do it, And he can do it. I can work really hard and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, and I can do all the roles. I'm intelligent and smart. So I think that's what Gibbs-white would bring. But I would love them both. I would love them both genuinely. The Swiss international. I think he's going to Dortmund, by the way. The Ashiri. I think the Ashiri fella's going to Dortmund, isn't he? But Guardiola loves Bernardo not because of his work rate. He loves him because of his intelligence. Guardiola said, look, he works really hard, but Guardiola said, they said the thing about Bernardo Silva is you can tell him to play a role. You don't even have to explain it to him. He just does it. Put him on left back, he gets it. Put him as a number 6, he gets it. Put him as a number 10, he gets it. Put him as a false 9, he gets it. Put him on the right, he gets it. He's a pure footballer. And that's why Guardiola loves Bernardo Silva, because he understands football. He understands... the game 100%. He knows where he needs to be. He works really hard too, but it's not just the fact that he works hard. You could get a billion journeyman footballers who work hard always. It's more if they understand how to do it. And Bernardo Silva is a manager's dream that way, where he's got all that talent, but at the same time, he has the ability to do it. So I think Morgan Gibbs-white would be that, and I think you get someone like Rayan Cherki to come in and be the genius. I'm really hoping City and the board and Hugo Viana and Pep Guardiola and everyone have gone, look, we're losing the kind of guy who can break down any defence in the world football with his vision. Like, we're losing Kevin De Bruyne, who's a special talent. There is no Kevin De Bruyne in world football. We really need a magician, and I know Cherki might not be the traditional Guardiola signing in terms of like the alleged, work rate and all that kind of stuff. But I wonder if they go, this guy is special. Like, this guy is special. Sign him. He's a bargain. He's 21 years old. He's set to explode. He's had the most exciting season you can think of. He's incredibly unpredictable. He's one of the best creators in world football. He really is. He's absolutely having a breakout season. It's wild flair, and of course there's got to be. I understand the lack of pressing and all that kind of stuff, but when you've got 32 goals and assists in 44 games at 21 years old, come on, man, that's ridiculous. Just go for it, give it a go. Just give it a go. Give this guy. He's a bargain signing, and then still we've got Oscar Bob and Phil Foden and your winger Savinho and Doku, and you still have Rangers and probably Gibbs-white and Rodri back in the side as well. It's low risk in my opinion. It's very win-win because like, the worst that happens, he don't play. But I don't know. Go for it, Man City. Sign him. Give some joy back to the Etihad Stadium. Get a guy who doesn't mind with 10 people. Look, you give him the ball with 10 defenders behind it. He'll dart past someone, cut inside, play a little 1-2 with someone, or curl it to the top corner, or just pirouette past someone, float over to the right side of the pitch, play a couple of 1-2s with someone, then dart inside, play a little through ball. He's so much better at breaking down teams than anything we've currently got. Anything, full stop. And that's the issue for me. He's like, we have a lack of ingenuity. Like, we need a genuine world-class talent with magic. The issue, of course, is his work rate. But if you can correct that, come on. You've got the most exciting, probably number 10 in world football, potentially. It's really, really, really that high. This is the only thing, of course, here. I'm going to look at... I'm trying to find some of his stats there for you. So here we go. Here's... what's this? Passing carries per 90. What's expected T? What does that mean? What does that mean, expected? I don't know what that would even mean there. This one says XT and X carries, but either way, Cherki's up there with Messi and Vinicius Jr. and De Bruyne and everyone else. Mbappe, I mean, look, for less minutes and stuff. I don't know what that would be. Who knows? But expected threat. Okay, it's threat. There we go. Expected threat for... Messi, you got your pass and your carries. So there we go. It's ridiculous. Like, he's always at the top of everything, of all these things. Yeah. So what that would mean if you're not like a testosterone, yeah. Pure testosterone. Look at his testosterone levels. Maybe his expected treats. Just how many treats he brings you. Which are great. Get him up, get him signed. But I guess if you're not like a stats head, what that would mean is like how they would measure how often he's involved in chances created via these metrics, via passes or dribbling, and they measure how often he's creating by these methods. And that's why he's so high, because he'd be ridiculous. So yeah, I would love it. I'd absolutely love it. I think Reinders, get him in as well. Reinders would be your classic number 8 in a Gundogan role. I think, of course, Rodri will turn. I think Rodri will be fine. I've said this a million times. I think Rodri is going to be fine. Rayan Cherki would be your magician. I actually really want Gibbs-white too. I think Gibbs-white is going to be a cracking footballer. I think Gibbs-white would be... I'll try and build it once again. I'll show you how I think it would be. I think Gibbs-white would come in as a 10 and... Not as an 8, sorry. And he would occasionally play... in the middle as a 10, sure. But I think he'd sort of be in this role. I think you'd have Rodri down here like that. I think it'd be like this. Rodri. I think it's very obvious, by the way, that we're going to sign a bunch of players who can get forward wing backs. And this is what I think the formation is going to be. It's not great for Savinho and Doku, this, but I think it will be something like this. I can imagine it being something like this. Reinders, then this would be Gibbs-white or Nico. I think Nico Gonzalez, I think, would be an 8. Then I think you'd have here Cherki or Foden. It'd be something like that, which is ridiculous. Then here you'd have your fullbacks. You'd have, ait-nouri if we got him. Ait-nouri would be great. Then you'd have another one there potentially. This is how we attack, by the way. It's not how we line up. In the ball. Then obviously you'd have Haaland and Marmoush maybe, or something like that. And all of a sudden, look how special that is, by the way. Then Marmoush would start out wide, of course, and Foden or Cherki would start out wide, but they'd drift central, of the role. Then you'd have a fullback sort of getting forward a little bit or sitting that way, and Gibbs-white would shuttle over to here because he can cross from that side. Rangers would go that way. Ait-nouri would get far forward if we got him. Marmoush would tuck inside. It'd be sort of like this, and this would be, I don't know. I'd love it to be this with pace on the counter. Vardial and Kusanov. I'd love it to be Kusanov because he's got the pace. It'd be Diaz, but I'd love it to be Kusanov. And with some rumours, it'd be go for that Wesley fella, the fullback. Livramento's the dream because he's more defensive minded. He can get forward as well, but he would cover that side really well. Gibbs-white, I think, would just shift that side with his crossing because he'd be great in that channel. Something like that, where then he'd get Cherki, he would just go over here to get the ball. He'd go over there to get the ball. He'd just move around, and it'd be something like that. And he'd have so much versatility. And I think Gibbs-white would be used a lot. And I think Nico Gonzalez would be used a lot because they're all very different takes on the same role. Occasionally, I think you'd see Cherki on the bench. And occasionally you'd see the tough midfield three of, say, Gibbs-white, Rodri, Rangers, more of the... Or you would probably might play Rangers if you want. They want the top midfield three. You play Gibbs-white, Nico Gonzalez and Rodri, where you've got these physical monsters. And that's when you're in a big game, when you've got to be a bit more physical. And then you can have Cherki on the left if you want to. And you can play... I don't know. You can play whoever on the right. You can play one of your wingers like Savino, Doku, whatever. Or Foden can go up there, or Oscar Bob. It's so many options. It's... Yeah, it's ridiculous. There is so much talent there. So to me, this would be a dream signing. It would really be a dream signing. I think he's such a special footballer. Get him in, Man City. Get him in. It would be absolutely ridiculous to see Cherki at Manchester City Football Club. Guys, give the video a like and subscribe. I'm going to get out with my son now because he needs to get out and go run around because it's 11 o'clock and he's waiting downstairs very patiently for me. I will do a video again later. If there's more news, hopefully there will be. Rangers looks like it's going to happen. It's all kicking off. Bye-bye. Subscribe in a bit. Come on, Cherki. Get to Manchester City. Get to the Etihad. Look, for some reason, YouTube has got rid of the end stream button for me. I can't even end it. Where is it? Refresh. There we go. Bye-bye.